YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a lot. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew an A-line gown with a front godet. So this style is really beautiful. I just came across it, so I decided to make it and then share it with you guys. So I have my fabric laid out. I'm making use of 2 yards of fabric. So I divided the fabric into two. So you use the biggest part of your measurement, which is the down part. So I folded my own fabric at 17 inches. So both back and front, they are 17 inches on fold. So the first thing I'm going to be inserting the shoulder measurement, which is 7. So this is the shoulder measurement. So I'll add 1 inch as my allowance for the shoulder. So if you are new to my channel, you are highly and very welcome. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and then hit on that bell just beside to get an update. And then thanks to all of my old subscribers. So let's just continue. So from the shoulder line, I'm just going to, so your shoulder measurement you divide into 2. So I'm just going to measure 8 inches, which I'm going to use as my armhole line. So I'm going to mark it like this, and then I'm just going to freehand my round armhole line like this. So on this line, this is where I'm going to be putting my bust measurement. So from here, 10 inches for my bust, 18 inches for my waist, and then 28 inches for my hip. Even though I'm not going to be making use of the hip, I'm just using it as a guide. So on this bust line, I'm going to measure out my bust measurement, and the bust measurement that I'm going to use is 9 inches. You divide your measurement, all your measurement, divide into 4. So I'm just going to add 1 inch allowance to it. So I'm just going to mark it like this. And then on the waist and line measurement, I'm going to use 11 inches and then 1 inch allowance. So I'm just going to slant it like this, so you see what I'm doing. And then I'll come to the hip and line measurement. What I'm going to use for the hip line measurement, I'm going to make use of 13 inches, and then I'll add 2 inches allowance. So I'm just going to, all measurements, I'm dividing them into 4. So that is why they are like this. And then I'll come to the down line. I'll make use of my entire 16 inches. So I'm just going to slant it like this to get that A-line, the A-line curve that I want. So I'll cut it out now. So guys, so you see I have my A-line gown out here. So the next thing I'm going to cut now, before I cut out the neckline, so I'm going to work on the front piece first. So I'll just keep the back piece on the side. So for the front piece, I'm going to open it up like this, and then I'm going to be making a mark. So I'm going to be cutting out this part like this. Okay, so in cutting out the front and cape, so I'm just going to have opened up my fabric. So I'm going to come to this point. I'm going to depend. So here you could decide to do it however you want, how deep, how big you want it. So I'm going to be making use of 8 inches. So the depth I'm going to be making use of is going to be 8 inches. So I'm just going to mark out my 8 inches like this, which is like my chest line and measurement. So this is where I'm going to be working with. So I'm just going to come to this point like this. I'll use 4 inches on this point, and then I'm just going to curve out like this 4 inches from this point like this. So you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? So I'm just going to curve it out like this. So you see what I'm curving out? So I've made my curve now. So the curve is just going to go and then fit into this point back. So I'm going to cut out this point now. So I've cut out this point. So now I'm going to open up this point and add my godet. So in adding my godet now, so what I'm just going to do, so you determine where you want to put it. So this is the center. So I'm not opening the center. So I'm just going to come to this point, just a little point before the center. So I'm using 10 inches. That's from the side, from the hemline. So I'm just going to rule a straight line down. So I've ruled a straight line down. So I'm going to open it up. So guys, you could see my dress is separated now. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a godet to this point. So what I'm going to do now, this is the fabric that I'm going to use. I'm just going to fold it like this, like a triangle. So here you could determine how much you want to fold it. So I'm using the length, that's this full length, that is what I'm using. So I'm just, so you could see the mount, and that's the top point. You could see how slim it is, because I don't want any allowance on the top point, so I'm just going to fold it like this, as slim as possible. I'm using about 2 inch, which I'm still going to trim out a little bit. So I'm just going to cut out this triangle now, so you could see the triangle. I'm going to cut it out. So that's just how simple this is. Okay guys, so you could see what I have here. So I'm just trying to get it out straight, because this point and this point, both of them are the same. They are the same, so that is why I'm using this edge. And what I have here, the inch that I have here is actually 2 inches. So I'm going to pleat that 2 inch. I'm just going to pleat it a little bit. That's when I'm attaching it to this point. I'm just going to pleat it like this, just a little bit, just to fit in, and then fix this. And then this opens up. So I'm just trying to measure out the down point now. So for the down point, I'm just going to cut out some excess. So when I'm done coupling, that is when I'm going to trim it to fit properly. So I'm just cutting out, so you can see what I have now. So this is what I have. So when you open it up like this, you see how big it is. So when I pleat this point into it now, this fits. So you could decide to make it how big you want it to be. So you can make it bigger. So you just make use of your own measurement. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out the neckline. This neckline that I cut, this cape part that I cut. So I'm just going to replace it with this point. So I'm just going to take it like this, and then I'll cut it out. But before I cut it out, so I'm going to use this to cut out the back and the front neckline, which both of them are the same. So I'm just going to take it like this. So you could decide to do that before you begin. So this is the neckline. So I'm just going to place it. So you see all of them, I'm placing them together like this, and then I'll measure out the neckline. So the width of the neckline, I'm going to make use of 3 inches. So you could make use of 3.5 inches, and then the depth that I'm going to make use of. So I'm going to make use of 4 inches depth neckline. So I'm just going to cut it like this. And then you remember to slant your shoulder. So from this point, I'm just going to slant out my shoulder slope for the back and then the front. So I'll cut it out now. So this is what I have left of my cape. So this is what I'm going to be replacing with what I have left here. So I'm going to be replacing it with this one like this. So when cutting out like this, when you're cutting it out, you cut excess, add at least 1 inch allowance to it on the side. So you could decide to add 1 inch. Why I said 1 inch, the remaining ½ inch will serve for the top one. So I'm just going to add 1 inch allowance just to extend it down. So that's just the allowance that I'm going to be adding to it. So when I'm sewing, I'll cut out the neckline. So guys, so the next thing I'm going to do now, take it to my machine, and I'm going to start stitching them together. So in stitching them together, so I'll just keep the back and piece on the side. So in stitching them, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this piece, and then take this piece, and then I'm going to join this one, my godet. I'm going to join it to it. So I'm going to attach this edge now. I'll attach it to this point down, and then attach this other edge. I'll attach it to this point down. So I'm going to do that, and then the neckline, after attaching them together, and then the neckline, I'll join it back on it. So I'm just going to do that and then come back and show you. So you can see guys, so I finished fixing the godet on it. So before I fix this top one on it now, so what I simply did, I just used this one to turn the other one. Then I'm going to place it like this. But before then, so this point, now you are going to pleat it. You could decide to do a key split. You could decide to do any pleat of your choice. But you just have to pleat it so that it will be at least ½ inch. So this point, you just like literally closing up this point back. So the neck, this top and yoke could fit back into it. So this is what I'm just going to do. So I'm just going to stitch it up now. So by pleating it together, and then I'll stitch it up. So guys, so you could see the neckline is done. So you see it is fixed and back on it together already. So the next thing I'm just going to do now, I'm just going to add this top one now. I'm going to fix it on it. So after fixing it, and then I'm going to join the back and the front together, and then come back and show you as we progress. Okay guys, so you could see I finished fixing the top and the yoke on top, and then I finished fixing the split. So in order for you to do this, for you to get out the shape properly, you have to cover up your godet back. So I'm going to pin it, so that, because I want the front and the back to be the same, so I'm going to pin it up like this, and then take out and join the back and the front together. Because if I join the back and the front together the way it is like this, the front will be bigger. So I'm just going to pin it up on the godet line like this. I'll just pin it up, and then I'll join the back and the front together. So I'm going to do that and come and show you. Okay guys, so you could see I finished joining the front and the back part. So and you see, even as I was joining it, I kept the godet hidden in, so I pinned it down. So because this is just the only way you are going to get the front and the back accurately, because the front is bigger than the back now because of the godet, so you have to pin it in. And my godet, I actually used 22 inches on for my godet. That's the width that I used. That's on fold. It was actually 11 inches. That's half of it. So folded like this is 22 inches. I used the biggest part. So you could decide to use any measurement of your choice. Depends on how big and wide you actually want it to be. So guys, we're almost done. So the only thing that is remaining now is I'm going to fix the sleeve. And the sleeve that is on the picture, I'm not going to do that sleeve. I'm just going to do a regular straight and sleeve on this, and then fold it down, and then come back and show you the final look. So you could put any sleeve of your choice. So guys, so I'll come back and show you the final look on the mannequin. Okay guys, so you could see this is the final look of our front and godet A-line dress. So you could see it came out very well and beautiful, so I'm so happy it did. So guys, if you find this video helpful, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you have not done so already. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.